Good morning, students. This is Arvind, Assistant Professor, Department of EEE, PVR Viswadaya Institute of Technology and Science, Kavali. So, in the previous classes, I discussed about the first chapter, that is Introduction to HVDC Transmission. I completed that chapter in the previous class, and now I am going to start the second chapter of this subject, that is HVDC Transmission subject, that is Static Power Converter Analysis. Static Power Converter Analysis. That is the second chapter of this subject. So, firstly, I will tell the how many contents are there in the second chapter. That is, how many topics we are going to cover in this chapter. So, in this one, firstly, I will cover the introduction to the static power converter, and after that, I am going to give the. I am going to discuss the next topic, that is static power converter analysis. So, in this one, we have to analyze the 3 pulse, 6 pulse, and 12 pulse converters, and after that converter station and terminal equipment concept, and after that we have to deal with the commutation process, and after that rectifier and inverter operation, and after that equivalent circuit for rectifier, inverter and HVDC link, and lastly we will discuss the special features of converters. And now in this class I am going to start the introduction to static power converter. Okay, introduction to static power converter. So coming to the topic, so in this one, you know already the HVDC converters converts AC to DC and it transfer the DC power. Then DC is again converted to AC by using inverter station. So you already know this point, well known about this one in the first chapter only. So HVDC converters converts AC to DC, that is the rectifier operation, and transfers the DC to transfers DC power, then DC is again converted to AC. This is done by the inverter by using inverter station. Okay, so next, HVDC system mainly consists of two stations. You already know this one also. Okay, HVDC system mainly consists of two stations. One is rectifier station, which transfers from AC to DC network, and other is inverter station, which transfers from DC to AC network, DC to AC network. So for all HVDC converters, 12 pulse bridge converters are used. For all HVDC converters, 12 pulse bridge converters are used. So same converter can act as both rectifier as well as an inverter depending on the firing angle alpha. Okay, same converter, that means the 12 pulse bridge converter can act as both rectifier as well as an inverter depending on the firing angle alpha. Okay, so next, if firing angle alpha is less than 90 degrees, okay, if the firing angle alpha is less than 90 degrees, the converter acts as rectifier, and if the firing angle alpha is greater than 90 degrees, then the converter acts as an inverter. Okay, so depending upon the angle alpha, the given converter acts as a rectifier and an inverter. Okay, and next, the conversion from AC to DC and vice versa is done in HVDC converter stations by using three-phase converters. Okay, the conversion from AC to DC, vice versa, is done in HVDC converter station by using three-phase bridges, three-phase bridge converters. So the configuration of the bridge, it is also called as Grudge bridge. Okay, the configuration of the bridge is shown in the figure. It is also known as Grudge bridge. This is very important. Grudge bridge. Based on this Grudge circuit, we have to analyze the 3 pulse, 6 pulse, and 12 pulse bridges. Okay, so the configuration of the bridge is shown in the diagram. So I will show the diagram. So this is the basic circuit diagram of a Grudge circuit. So in this one, I am taking a three-phase supply. So this three-phase supply with source inductance is connected to the valves. Here I am taking the 6 pulse converter. That's why I am taking it consists of 6 valves. Okay, so the three-phase supply with source inductance is connected to the thyristor valves, and this also consists of the reactor, that is the reactor LD, that is the direct DC line reactor. Okay, or smoothing reactor also. So this is the basic circuit diagram for Grudge circuit. So that diagram is a 6 pulse converter. Okay, and the 12 pulse converter is composed of two bridges in series. The two 6 pulse bridges in series supplied from two different transformers with voltage differing in phase by 30 degrees. I will show that 12 pulse diagram with the combination of two 6 pulse converters in series. I will show the diagram, the 12 pulse converter operation. Okay. So next, coming to the basics. So if you want to know the converter configuration or choice of converter configuration, we have some requirements. So in those requirements, we have firstly we have to know about the PIV, peak inverse voltage, and secondly we have to know about the pulse number P, pulse number P, and next you have to know about the valve rating or valve utilization factor, valve rating or valve utilization factor, and fourth one is VD naught by E. And after that you have to know about the transformer utilization factor. In shortcut we will call it as TUF, transformer utilization factor. So these are all requirements we have to take for the converter configuration. So in that one, I have to tell the firstly pulse number. So what is meant by pulse number? So the pulse number of a converter is defined as the number of pulsations, that is cycles of ripple. Okay, the number of pulsations of direct voltage per cycle of alternating voltage per cycle of alternating voltage. So that means the pulse number of a converter is defined as the number of pulsations of direct voltage, the number of pulsations of direct voltage per cycle of alternating voltage. So the conversion from AC to DC involves switching sequentially different sinusoidal voltages onto the DC circuit. Okay, the conversion from AC to DC involves switching sequentially different sinusoidal voltages onto the DC circuit. So one possible configuration for a P-pulse converter is shown in the diagram. I will show the diagram. It consists of a P-pulse converter. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation of that P-pulse converter. So in this one, I am taking a voltage source in series with the switch. Okay. So here the voltage source is connected to the switch. So here I am taking a P-pulse converter. That's why each converter consisting of source, that is Em cos omega t and Em cos of omega t minus 2 pi by P, and so on, Em cos of omega t minus 2 pi into P minus 1 by P. So this is the configuration we are taking. So this is a P-pulse converter. Okay. So in this one, a valve can be treated as a switch. A valve can be treated as a switch which can be turned on at any instant. Okay, a valve that is a thyristor or diode, anything GTO or IGBT IGCT. So a valve can be treated as switch if you taken this the controlled switch, that is a thyristor or IGBT or IGCT or GTO. Okay, a valve can be treated as a switch which can be turned on at any instant provided the voltage across it is positive. Provided the voltage across it is positive. So in the previous diagram also, I am taking the diagram. So in this one, the switch having the voltage source. So the positive source is connected to the switch. Okay, so that means the valve. Okay, the valve can be treated as a switch which can be turned on at any instant. So provided the voltage across it is positive. And next, if we use a diode as the valve, so that is a diode is an uncontrolled switch. If you use a thyristor, that is a controlled switch. Okay, so a diode is an uncontrolled switch which will turn on immediately, after voltage becomes positive. After voltage becomes positive. Whereas the thyristor switching can be delayed by an angle alpha. That means the voltage sources are actually obtained from the transformer secondary windings. Okay, the voltage sources are actually obtained from the transformer secondary windings. And the operating of the switch, that is both for diode and the thyristor. Okay, the operating of the switch occurs at the current zero. Okay, the opening of the switch occurs at the current zero. So the output voltage Vd of the converter consists of a DC component and a ripple whose frequency is determined by the pulse number. Okay, the output voltage Vd of the converter consists of a DC component and a ripple whose frequency is determined by the pulse number. Okay, so next coming to the choice of converter configuration. So the configuration for a given pulse number is selected in such a way that both the valve and transformer utilization are maximized. Okay, the configuration for a given pulse number is selected in such a way that both the valve and transformer utilization are maximized. So the configuration shown in the diagram is not the best, that is this one, this diagram. This diagram is not the best, so this one. So for that one I am taking another diagram. For that one I am taking the another diagram. Okay, in general, a converter configuration can be defined by the basic commutation group. Okay, in general, a converter configuration can be defined by the basic commutation group and the number of such groups connected in series and parallel as shown in the diagram. I will show that diagram in the next slide. So in the diagram, if there are Q valves in a basic commutation group and R of these are connected in parallel and S of them are connected in series. So for that one I will write a formula for that one, that is P is equal to Q into R into S. So here Q is the valve number and R is the parallel connected valves and S is the series connected valves. So that is P is equal to QRS, and treat this equation as equation number 1. So this is the diagram. So this is not a best diagram for the converter configuration. That's why I'm moving to the next diagram, that is this one. So in this diagram, the converter made up of series and parallel connection of commutation groups. So why we are taking this commutation group? So what is meant by the commutation group? So I will explain that one. So a commutation group is defined as the group of valves in which only one conducts at a time. Okay, commutation group is defined as the group of valves in which only one conducts at a time, that is neglecting the overlap. So if the valves are conducting at a time, only one valve conducting at a time, means there is neglecting of overlap. Okay, so for that one I am taking this one. So here the converter made up of series and parallel connection of commutation groups. Okay, so next we are moving to the first one, that is valve rating or valve utilization factor. So the valve utilization factor, so the valve voltage rating is specified in terms of peak inverse voltage it has to withstand. Okay, the valve voltage rating is specified in terms of peak inverse voltage it has to withstand. So the ratio of PIV to the average DC voltage is an index of the valve utilization. Okay, the ratio of peak inverse voltage to the average DC voltage is an index of the valve utilization. So for that one I am taking VDC is equal to S into Q by 2 pi integral minus pi by Q2 plus pi by Q Em cos omega t d omega t. So from this one I am writing that is equal to S into QE by pi into Em sin of pi by Q. So after solving the above equation we will get this expression, that is S Q by pi into Em sin of pi by Q. Okay. So this is the average maximum of DC voltage across the converter. So what I said earlier is VDC is equal to S into Q by pi into Em sin of pi by Q. That is the average maximum of DC voltage across the converter. Okay. And next, the peak inverse voltage. So actually the peak inverse voltage across a valve can be obtained as follows. So actually I already said that if the valve number, so actually we have two valve groups. One is odd valve group and another one is even odd group, sorry, even commutation group. So if Q is even, that means the valve number is even. If Q is even, that is either 2, 4, 6. Okay, then the maximum inverse voltage across when the valve with a phase displacement of pi radians, that is 180 degrees, is conducting, and this is given by PIV is equal to 2 into Em, that is treated as second equation. Similarly, if Q is odd, that is the valve number is odd, that is either 1, 3, 5, then the maximum inverse voltage occurs when the valve with a phase displacement of pi plus or minus pi by q is conducting in this case. So for this one, the peak inverse voltage is PIV is equal to 2 Em cos pi by 2q, 2 Em cos pi by 2q. So what is going to be the peak inverse voltage? So the peak inverse voltage is the maximum reverse voltage. The maximum reverse voltage a thyristor can withstand. Okay, can withstand. That is the peak inverse voltage. So if the valve number is even, the peak inverse voltage value is 2 into Em, and if the valve number is odd, the PIV, the peak inverse voltage is 2 into Em into cos pi by 2q. Okay. At the same time, what is meant by valve utilization factor means it is the ratio of peak inverse voltage to the DC output voltage, that is VD naught. Okay, next we are going to the valve utilization factor is given by, so just now I said that PIV by VD naught, so that is equal to 2 pi by, so here I am writing the two for the two cases, that is if the valve number is even, the valve utilization factor value is 2 pi by SQ into sin pi by Q. So if the valve number is odd, so then the valve utilization factor is pi by SQ into sin of pi by 2Q. Okay. And next, coming to the transformer rating, that is the current rating of a valve is given by IV is equal to ID by R root Q. IV is equal to ID by R root Q. So from this one I am writing, so here ID is the DC current which is assumed to be constant. So in this case ID is the DC current which is assumed to be constant. Then the transformer rating of the valve side is given by S suffix TV is equal to P into EM by root 2 into ID. So here I am rewriting the above equation is P into VD naught into pi by root 2 into SQ into sin pi by Q into ID by R root Q. So you know already IV is equal to ID by R root Q. So that is equal to, after solving this we have pi by root 2, pi by root 2 into VD naught into ID by root Q into sin pi by Q. So this is the final expression for the transformer rating on the valve side. Okay. And next, the transformer utilization factor. So the transformer utilization factor is defined as the ratio of transformer rating to the product of the voltage and current. Okay, the transformer utilization factor is only a function of Q, is only a function of Q. Q is the valve number. So the optimum value of Q, which results in maximum utilization, that is equal to 3. So that means it is a fortunate coincidence that the AC power supply is 3-phase and the commutating group of 3 valves is easily arranged. That's why I am taking Q is equal to 3. So for Q is equal to 3, the transformer utilization factor is 1.481, and the transformer utilization factor can be improved further if two valve groups can share a single transformer winding. Okay, the transformer utilization can be improved further if two valve groups can share a single transformer winding. So in this case, the current rating of winding can be increased by a factor of root 2. So while decreasing the number of windings by a factor of 2. Okay. Next, so for this case, the transformer utilization factor is 1.047. So for Q is equal to 3, the transformer utilization factor is 1.481, and for this case, the transformer utilization factor is 1.047. So for a 6 pulse converter, this can be easily arranged. Okay, for a 6 pulse converter, this can be easily arranged. That means we are taking a grid circuit that is shown in the first slide or second slide. I shown the gate circuit. So further gate circuit is obtained when the two windings are combined into one. When the two windings are combined into one. So thus it is shown that both from valve and transformer utilization considerations, gate circuit is the best circuit for a 6 pulse converter. So this is the circuit. This is the circuit for a 6 pulse converter by using the gate circuit. So in this one, the transformer winding is taken as single. Okay. So here I am taking the 6 valves or 6 thyristors. So each thyristor is connected to a reactor. or inductor. Okay, and these all are connected to a single line, that is the DC line. So each converter, each group consists of voltage, that is VD by 2 and VD by 2. So from these we have to obtain the VD value, that is VD is equal to VD by 2 minus of minus VD by 2, that is equal to VD. Okay. So from this one, in HVDC transmission, the series conduction of converter groups has been preferred because the ease of control and protection as well as requirements of high voltage rating. So in HVDC transmission, the series conduction of converter groups has been preferred because of the ease of control and protection as well as the requirements of high voltage rating. So thus a 12 pulse converter is obtained by the series connection of two bridges. Okay, so the 30 degrees phase displacement between the two sets of source voltages is achieved by the transformer connections, that is star to star or for feeding one bridge and star to delta for feeding the second bridge. Okay, that is for the first transformer we are taking the star to star connection for both primary and secondary, and for the second transformer we are taking the combination, that is star to delta for feeding the second bridge. So why I am telling these things means, if you want to form a 12 pulse bridge, we have to take the two 6 pulse bridges with series connection. So in that connection, one converter station is in star to star connection from the transformer, and another one is from the star to delta connection. Okay. So the use of 12 pulse converter is preferable over the 6 pulse converter because of the reduced filtering requirements. Reduced filtering requirements. The use of 12 pulse converter is preferable over the 6 pulse converter because of the reduced filtering requirements. Okay. So however, increase in pulse number beyond 12. So if you increase the pulse number beyond 12 is not practical because the non-characteristic harmonics are not eliminated. Okay, however, increase in pulse number beyond 12 is not practical because the non-characteristic harmonics are not eliminated. Okay, so thank you. So in this class we discussed about the introduction to the static power converters. So in that topic we discussed about the grid circuit, and after that we discussed about the pulse number, choice of converter configuration. Under choice of converter configuration we discussed about the peak inverse voltage, valve utilization factor or valve rating, and transformer utilization factor. Okay, thank you for watching this video.